This short video will go through the key concepts in Unit 3.9 budgets. This is an HO only topic, which means it has a higher chance of showing up in your paper 2 section A or your paper 3, and is also the last concept or last topic in Unit 3. The first concept that we're going to learn about as part of this topic is the idea behind profit centers and cost centers. Now, each department or each part of a business can be classified into a profit or a cost center. Profit centers are parts of the business that generate both revenues and costs. The goal of these profit centers is therefore to maximize profits, which you recall is revenue minus cost. For example, profit centers in a hotel might include the rooms, the spa, and the restaurant. These are parts of the business that generate both revenue from people staying in the room, people booking treatments or ordering food, as well as costs, such as the electricity and water used by guests, the oils required for the massage, or the ingredients used to make the dishes. On the other hand, cost centers are parts of the business that only generate costs. Their goal is to minimize costs while still fulfilling their role for the business. Don't say that having cost centers is bad for the business. So in our hotel example, think of housekeeping or the front desk or the marketing team. These are essential business operations, but they don't directly generate revenue and are therefore classified as cost centers. So rather than being a burden on the business, their role is to continue to fulfill their function in a way that is as cost effective as possible. Businesses can split up into different profit and cost centers for a few reasons. These can be in order to, one, monitor and control different parts of the business. And so this can help the business understand the performance of different departments or different divisions. Two, it can help enhance decision-making. It allows the boss or the manager or leader of each decision to decide in a way they see fit for their own division. And three, accountability. By splitting it up into profit and cost centers, senior management can hold these managers accountable for their division's performance. However, splitting things up into profit and cost centers can lead to competition for resources among departments and a focus on individual departments rather than the overall success of the business. With these departments in mind, the firm puts together a budget. Now, a budget is simply a plan or forecast for the firm's costs and revenues in the next year. To construct a budget, a firm forecasts what its expected revenues will be and what its expected costs will be. Of course, in reality, this is a projection, and so there will always be a difference between what the firm budgets and what the actual result is. Now, this difference is called a variance. There are two types of variances that you should know. The first is favorable variances, which is when the difference between the actual and the budget ends up being a positive or a benefit for the business, and an adverse variance, which is when the difference between the actual and the budget ends up being bad for the business. Simply put, if revenues are higher than expected or costs are lower than expected, then the variance is favorable because both of these scenarios are good for the business. If the opposite is true, the variance is adverse, bad for the business. Now, we use the words favorable and adverse specifically. These are words the IB expects you to know and they expect you to use them. So do know that don't write good or bad, write favorable or adverse. But of course, you can use good and bad to help you remember what they are. So you need to also know how to calculate these variances in a case study. And the quantitative skills videos on our website will show you how to do just that in the same way you would for a test at school or your final exam. Calculating these variances can help a business monitor and manage its strategy and also help provide them with a benchmark as to how the company is performing, as they're very important for all firms. That concludes the key concepts for this topic. We recommend you use these steps as part of your study routine. Pay particular attention to steps 2 and 3, as this is something overlooked by many BM students. Practicing case studies and developing application skills is the best way for you to improve your grade in BM, as all your school tests and the final exam are case study based. To practice these skills and access more detailed videos on BM content, please check out the resources on our website, Diplomaly.org. If you need any support with any part of the BM course, including the IA or EE, feel free to get in touch with us via email or WhatsApp. Best of luck with your study.